morning, guys. This is Kathy with Kincaid Special Creations coming to you with another craft video. I'm going to show you the things that I'm going to be working through in the month of March and hope you come back to see how I use them. These are all different varying thin-lit slash cutters that you can use. These are all my stamps that I'm going to use with some of them. This is another one. This is the Spellbinders. And then this is all the stuff. The big one here on the bottom houses all of my thinlits. This one here has my embossing folders. I have some ink pads, more ink pads, paper, my Misty that will help me position my stamps so that I can cut them out right. So I just wanted to bring you in to show you the beginning here. I'll set you up on a tripod and we'll go through showing you what each and every one of them does. And then through the month of March, we will be coming back making various things from ephemera to a card to a sign to seeing what all we can use the thinlits to cut, what all we can use to see for them to emboss, all kind of things. So if this is something you want to learn about, join me every Tuesday for Try It Tuesday in the month of March, and we'll be back in a bit. Okay guys, let's show you this big kick from Sizzix as the first one. This is what they call a thinlet, a wafer thin die cutting machine. This is used primarily with this type of, let me get it out of the package for you, with this type of dies. They have a little cutting edge on one side and they're completely flat on the other. And if you're not like me, you will be able to cut them perfectly. You can also do what they call an embossing folder on it. And I'll show you how to use this with both of those. So in order to do that, I have to turn it sideways because you will see that there's a handle and it moves that board. Now if you want to do the little thinlits or framelits, it shows you them right there, or the little thinlits, that makes the different designs. Now that is perfect for cutting those. If you want to do the embossing folders, you have to flip that side over, sandwich your embossing folder in, and run it through. That's as easy as it goes. And these are if you want a thicker embossing folder. Okay? Alright. So let's get started. We're going to put this in. It doesn't have to have anything done. Hold 1 second. Let me get my plates. For the use of this tutorial, I'm going to get out my brand new plates. But you don't have to have brand new plates. If yours is old and scratched up and warped, they will still work. But for the intents and purposes of today, we're going to use the new ones. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take one of them. I always put one of them down. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing now. Okay, let's move it back here a little bit. Yeah. You put that down, you put your paper on top of it. You take your little die cut that you want and put it in there. And then you sandwich the other one on the top, just like that. Now you can put a piece of washi tape if you want a particular spot on that paper to be able to cut that out, but if not, let's send her through. And that's all you do is just turn it around and around and around. Now I bring it back through just to make sure that the blades cut through it. Once it gets there, you can pull this top off. You can pull the thinlet off and see, you can use that as a stencil. Or, I forgot one more piece. You can use your Cricut tool. You can buy these at Dollar Tree store. They don't say Cricut on them, but they work just the same. And you take your thing and see the little teeny tiny holes? You just press down in there, just like that, and it all the way around, and it'll give you your now cut out piece of I'm trying to get you so you can see the little holes. Isn't that cute? That's adorable. And there's the other side. One side is embossed like that, and the other side has a little debossed side, but it's cut out perfectly out of a little piece of paper. This is the way you could use up your cardstock that's not big enough for anything else. Alright, so that is one. Now I'm going to show you how to do this one. It's a little bit more intricate, and you'll see when I pull it out, it still has the green in it from the last time I cut it. So all you have to do is just poke through those holes, and all that stuff will come out. They're just little teeny tiny holes, but they will work to get your pieces out that you need out. See? Now you have a perfectly good one to use for the next time. Get all those little pieces off there to sweep my floor after I get done. Now, what we're going to do with this one, I got to find a big enough piece of paper to cover it, and it will. You put that down in there. You put this on top of it just the same way as I did before. Get your top thing and see how it does. That's why you want to put a little piece of washi tape on it. It's wanting to fly around on me, guys. Wanting to fly around. Okay. Now. Alright, now let's shove it through. Just like we did before. This one's a little tougher. You can see by me grunting and groaning. So it probably won't need two. Let's see. No, it cut good. See, we just pull it off. Pull all the little cut edges off. Then we pull our thing out of there. Now, let me sit down here a minute so I can show you another thing. When you take it out, it's going to have all those little pieces in it. So what you want to do is just smack them out. You can use your finger if they're bigger pieces. If they're little ones, you can use the tool. You probably will want to have a little trash can close because these will create a lot of little pieces. But if you had to sit and cut these out with a pair of scissors or a utility knife, you'd be forever doing them. Anyway, you can see what it looks like. You just keep poking them out. So there you have your own little fireplace, and you just keep poking out the spots that's cut. Then you could put this on a nice red sheet of paper, or even a piece of printed paper that you could now have you a fireplace against a wallpaper wall. Most people don't do wallpaper anymore, but I always thought it was pretty. So see, you just keep poking them out, and it becomes addictive because you really want to get every little teeny tiny piece out of there. You just want to do it easy so you don't tear up your Thinlit. Now there are some tricks that you can do to get it out without fighting it like this, and I will bring those in. But for right now, look how pretty. Let me put it against the dark background so you can get the full scheme up. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And that's all by just using this machine. You can use any of them, but you can use this machine in order to cut out this intricate design that you can now put on a Christmas card standing beside a Christmas tree. And there you go. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Or a little rocking chair put in front of it. Oh, that would be pretty. You could use this on scrapbook pages. You can use it on Christmas or on cards. You can use it on, you know, like embellishments that you want to make a picture frame out of. You could use these little things on anything. They're not really showcased as much anymore that I see on TV. I guess I'm just not watching the right things. But these are wonderful. So we wanted to do a whole month series of doing nothing but using these and showing you what they're good for. Okay, so that is basically the Thinlits. They do the whole 9 yards. Now, what we're going to do, this is called an embossing folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of paper, put it through, stick this back through here. Now remember, in doing an embossing folder, you have to take this part off. And then just have this part in. So now we're going to decide what part of this, because it's not going to do all of it. We'll do it from right there down. Put it in. You still have to have your plates. And see, this is what I tell you about it being marked up. See, but that's what it does. So don't stress about it if you do it the first time and you get those cut marks in your plate. Just remember, that needs to be the one that goes down to the bottom. Okay. Let me get my belly out of here. Okay, now we'll send this. This is harder because it is thicker. All right. And that you shouldn't have to do twice. And here you go. It's still the brown paper's in there. Undo it. And look, you now have a brick wall that you can put your fireplace up against. Isn't that gorgeous? That is just pretty. And if you made you a red fireplace, that would even pop more. So there you go. That is the difference between a Thinlit being cut and an embossing folder being embossed. This is one that I did this morning, also with an embossing folder with birds on it. And Mandy did this one the other day when she was down. This is the deboss side, because that's where when you color on top of it, the white stays showing. And this is the emboss side, where you could take a little, we took a Q-tip, but you could take something and color in each one of them individually. And that, put on the front of a card. There you go. Just put your little sentiment, put this one up closer to the top. And because that's a cardinal, you could then put on the bottom, thinking of you. Which we have word Thinlits too. I'm just doing a little rough run through today, but I will go in depth with all of them at a later date. So I'm just I'm going to switch off from this machine onto a different one, and I'll bring you right back. The next machine that we got up is called the Sizzix, also a Sizzix machine, the Texture Boutique. It is basically the same thing as the big one, smaller version, but all it does is the embossing folders. It will not do the Thinlits. So, let's bring out a different embossing folder. Let's bring out this one with the flowers on it. And put us in a piece of white paper, because then once we emboss it, we can then color it. With this one has black things. Okay, so we're going to put I don't guess it really matters which one you put in first. You just have to sandwich them together, just like a sandwich. Put them in and roll them through too. Gives you good arm muscles. I'm showing you these things, guys, not that you have to run out and buy them. But because if you happen to be at a yard sale anywhere and you run across them, then you'll know what they're good for. And this is our flower embossing. Now, you can color it on that side, or you could shade it in on this side and leave the flowers white. But isn't that pretty? Wouldn't that be beautiful in a scrapbook or a journal or on, like I said, on the front of a card? I mean, that would just be pretty. All right, there's that one showing you. And that's all this one does. Let's see if I've got another embossing folder. Let's try this butterfly one. I want to try it simply because it's broken too. So I want to see if I can get it to do what it's supposed to do. Put it all together. Put it on the bottom one. Flip the other one over and put it on the top and just send it through. Now this is one that's broken. So if you happen to be at a yard sale and you find one and they look broken, or you find one and somebody gives you a bunch of stuff, don't throw it away because it may still be good. Okay. Get it all the way out. That's moment of truth, guys. Let's see how it did. This is the butterfly. Pull it off. And look, it didn't do as good. Let's try a different one. Same technique. But let's put this shim in it. Because they sent you what they call a shim. And it says if you're using a single sheet, then you can use this and make it a little bit more tougher to see if it'll go down in there. And let's see if it works better like that. This is just a test run on all the machines that I haven't used probably in 2 years. But getting them out to use them this summer, making sure that they still work, and just bringing you guys along for the ride. Okay, let's see. I went walking today, or I went to the gym today. Okay, let's take off the thing and see how much better it did with the shim. That's why they gave it to you. Look how much better. Just by putting this little piece of plastic. And you could do that with an extra sheet of paper if you don't have the piece of plastic. But look how much better it cut. Look. This one could be used for a good background piece behind this one. All right. Those look pretty. All right. So now we know we can keep this. Doesn't have to be thrown away. And this is all of my stuff to go with that one. All right, guys. Let me find another machine sitting over there on the table and bring it back and show you what it does. This bad boy is called a Spellbinder. I couldn't even tell you how old it is, guys. Couldn't even tell you. My Aunt Joan gave me this. I think. It could have come from somebody else. I'm not sure where it came from. But it too is basically the same. It's a newer, older version of the one we just done. It has an A plate. Also has a shim. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. It has your embossing plate, which we'll try out. This is your base plate. This is what goes in first. As you can tell by all the cutting on it. This is what you sandwich underneath it. So let's try it out. Let's try out a frame. You get these in all these different sizes and shapes. So let's put it back just a little farther so you can see. We'll put our A plate down. Well, let's put it down here. Put our paper on. Let's use this one. We'll use our frame right here and our C-plate. Make sure it stayed in there where you wanted it to be. That's why I say it is useful to use washi tape to keep all this stuff in place. When I do it for actual projects in March, I'll show you. Then you just shove it in, and again, you just turn it. Now this one is harder to turn when it gets in there. Well, I thought it was. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to bring it back through just to make sure, because it is an older machine, that my frame got cut all the way through. Alright, so let's bring this into view. Take off the cutting plate. Take off the outside. Look, there is your frame for whatever you want. Say you want to put it on a black background. Perfectly cut square frame. And you have, when you buy them, you have all these different sizes. So you could make windows of all shapes and sizes, or picture frames for your wall or whatever. Picture frames for your scrapbook would be great. And then when you cut it out, it has a little edge around it. So you could put a picture in that and have it decorated around the outside edge. Alright, so there is how you use the picture frame or the Spellbinder. I do not know, but we will try to see if I can do an embossing folder. See, this is the embossing plate. So I think you put this in the embossing folder. Let's try this one. We haven't done this one yet. I'll maybe get a bigger piece of paper, because this looks like a really pretty picture. Okay. We'll put this on the embossing plate. Let's put this on top of it just to be sure, and then the embossing plate. I don't know really how this one works, so we're going to see, and see it will not go through. So let's take this off, just leave this in here and put that in, see if it goes through. There we go. Now it's going. See how well this one embosses. I'm going to give this one to Mandy after March when we get all of our projects done. Alright, let's fish it the rest of the way out of there. Well, come on, get out of there. Okay, let's see if this one works. There's the embossing thing. And look, oh my stars, guys. Look how deep the embossing got on that one. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. You could definitely put that on the front of a card, a Christmas card, or a spring card. I think that's a fairy smelling into a flower. Oh, isn't that beautiful? All right. So now I have showed you 3 different machines. 2 that will do thinlits, and 1 that will thinlits and embossing folders, and 1 that will do embossing folders only. So let me put you on pause, and I'll bring you in the big mama jamma and the little cute little things that come with it, and I'll show you how it works, and then we'll be done for the day. Okay, and for my 4th and final cutting machine of the day, this is also called a Sizzix. I'm thinking it's as old school as you can get as far as these little cuts are, but we are going to pick a couple of these out. I don't even know what they are. This one is an oval tag, and this one is a regular tag. So we are going to sandwich these right here. Put this on. And put this on top of it. Nope. But I am going to put this on. This won't go in there. Nope. Let's try cutting this one down. And put on top of it. And see if we get the result. All you do with it is press down until it goes down. Bring it back. I do it like 3 times. You know me and my 3s. Okay. Bring it back out. And now you have your little tags. And I have 3 of these containers of different things. I think most of these are shapes and things, but that's how easy it is to cut them out. So if you see one of these machines at a yard sale and you're like, what am I ever going to do with that? This is what you can do with it. Let's see. Let's find another piece of paper and find my oval. And do this again. Okay. This little shim is the key though, guys. Because this cutter is a little bit wonky. Before I had to turn it around to get it to release it. And on some of these things, that would be important. Okay. So now we have 2 little circles. Isn't that awesome, guys? Isn't that awesome? And it is all from a little die cut that's down in there. There's a little die cut thing that's down in there that makes these perfect little oval tags for you. There you go. Alright guys, that is the end of today's video. Like I said, I will bring you back each Tuesday in the month of March, and we will pick one of the machines, because there's 4 of them, and see what all it can do. See how many ephemera type items that I can get. See if it cuts out of aluminum. See if it cuts colored cardstock that has designs on it that you want a specific design out of. Come back and join me. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.